numbers they've ever seen by far. They were so unhappy. They were so unhappy. And they said, well, he'll never sign Form A. That's where you basically sign your life away. And then it started. June 16th it started, right? And we had a total of 17. And then, boom, 1 out, 2 out, 3, 4, 5. One after another. 6, 7, 8. And then they said, oh, we better start taking him serious because, you know, I was the one that knocked out that first day. And I did that single-handedly. They said, we better start taking him seriously. They spent $100 million, 66,000 heirs. I am not kidding you. Now, I saw it on Fox on Estimate. 66,000 heirs. And I said to my people, I was watching television in Florida, and I said, there's no way I can win. How can I possibly win? Every single ad is a negative ad, and most of them are false. There's a little truth to some of them, I'll be honest. But for the most part, they were false. And I was being hit by everybody. I was being hit by the Republicans. I was being hit by Pocahontas. Pocahontas. That's Elizabeth Warren. I call her Goofy. She is, you know, Goofy. She gets less done than anybody in the United States Senate. She gets nothing done, nothing passed. She's got a big mouth, and that's about it. But they use her because Hillary's trying to be very presidential. She's stopping with the shouting, okay? But then I listened before, and I'll be honest with you, I cannot listen to her. I cannot listen to her. Yeah. So I've been hit by 66,000 heirs, negative heirs. And I said, no way. And we won Florida in a landslide, won it by 20 points. And it first began, you know, I did actually very well in Iowa. I never did it before. I came in second. I should have come in first, but we'll explain that to you someday. But I'll tell you what. I went to New Hampshire. What a place is New Hampshire. Okay? What a place. And I was not supposed to win New Hampshire. Bush was supposed to win New Hampshire. That was his territory. I won in a landslide. I won New Hampshire in a landslide. And then we went between Massachusetts, which we won almost 50% in Massachusetts. He's got a Tom Brady shirt. Yes! Tom Brady. Love Tom. Tom Brady's my friend. It didn't hurt. I kept wondering, how come I did so well in Massachusetts? I think Tom might have had an effect on that. By the way, he's a great guy. And another great guy, Bobby Knight in Indiana. Bobby Knight. So I went to all these different places and was winning in big numbers. And I'll tell you what was really exciting. In South Carolina, we didn't get the endorsement of the governor. We got the endorsement of the lieutenant governor, who's a fantastic guy. And everybody else was endorsing different people. And the evangelicals are very, very strong in South Carolina. And the military, and we love those evangelicals. And the military is very, very strong in South Carolina. And everybody said that was not going to be Trump territory. And I won South Carolina in a landslide. And we won Alabama and Arkansas and Kentucky. We won the entire South in a landslide. We won almost everything. And then we came to New York. And you know, the nice thing about it from the standpoint of people that aren't in New York, I love that. Latinos for Trump, believe me. And by the way, you're all here legally. You have houses, you have homes. We're going to keep your houses and your homes. You're going to have them forever. And your jobs aren't going to be taken away by people that are just coming across the border. You don't know where they're coming from. And you don't know where. And you know what? More and more, and I'm seeing it, Latinos for Trump, they have groups forming. I have great relationships with the Hispanics. We're going to do very well with the Hispanics because I'm going to create jobs. And jobs is what this country needs. We need jobs. from Mexico, people from all over. They're phenomenal people. They are phenomenal people. And what I'm going to do very easily, I do it naturally. We're bringing jobs into our country. We're not going to let other know. And I call up Tommy, and he goes, I've been waiting for you to call. And Indiana was the next week. Anyway, he's a great guy. And he came and he endorsed me, and we just won that state. We won with women, with men, with young, with old, with rich, with poor, with blue collar, with white collar. We won with everything. We won Indiana, and we won, by the way, big, to me, very important. We won with the evangelicals. So, we won with everything. And then everybody said, okay, it's time to let Trump go, do what it is to do. And now I'm doing it. And we have a person running for office who is not equipped to be president. She doesn't have the temperament to be president. She's got bad judgment. She's got horribly bad judgment. And that was stated by none other than Crazy Bernie. I mean, Bernie said that Hillary Clinton has bad judgment. Now, if you look at the war in Iraq, if you look at what she did with Libya, which is a total catastrophe, and by the way, with Benghazi and with our ambassador, remember, it was all Hillary. Let me tell you something. If she wins, and I hope she doesn't, but if she wins, you better get used to it, because you'll have nothing but turmoil, and you'll have nothing but 4 more years of Obama, and you can't take it. Now, so, you remember the famous ad? When they call at 3 in the morning, who's going to be there to answer the call? This was her ex. She was supposed to say, I'm going to answer the call. She was sleeping. They called. They kept calling. Did you see hundreds and hundreds of emails and calls, and they kept calling, and she was sleeping, folks. She was sleeping. I don't sleep much. So we got to make changes. Remember this. It's going to be about security. We're going to have great security. We're going to have great borders. We're going to have the wall. We're going to have the wall. that know more about the border than anybody how important is the wall, and they tell me it is absolutely vital. And in other words, it's a vital tool, it's an important tool, it's maybe the most important tool that they can think of. We're going to build the wall. We have no choice. We have to build the wall. So, we're going to build it. Who's going to pay for the wall? So we have a trade deficit with Mexico. And by the way, I just said, the Mexican people are great. They're going to vote for me like crazy. The ones that are legally in this country, look, all these Mexicans, you're voting for Trump. I love the Mexican people. I love the Mexican people. But we have people that are in our country legally and they can't get jobs because other people are coming in and they're taking their jobs. And we have people, they lose their houses, there's so many different things happening. So we're going to do things properly. And we want people to come into the country, by the way, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally. So we go down the line, and I was so honored to get their support. And I started, actually, I have a structural engineer who's really terrific. I said, do me a favor. Let me see. I mean, this guy's got good talent. I mean, what I do better than anybody is build. I'm a really good builder. I do. In fact, I'm opening up. I took over the old post office, one of the most sought-after projects in the history of the General Services Administration, which is on Pennsylvania Avenue, right between Congress, right between the Capitol building and the White House, right smack between. I always tell people in real estate, if you can get the post office, you get the best location because they got there first, okay? So I got the post office. The old post office building is 1 year ahead of, think of this, it's 1 year ahead of schedule. We'll open in September. It was supposed to open up actually in much more than a year. I mean, to be honest with you, we're almost 2 years ahead of schedule. And I said, let's not say that because nobody even would believe it. But we're almost there. But I say 1 year because I want to be respectful. But we're 1 year ahead of schedule more than that. And we're under budget. And the building is much better than we ever thought. It's going to be one of the great hotels in the world. And General Services Administration, by the way, totally professional. These are great people, totally professional. We have great people in our country. We have phenomenal people in our country. We have bad leadership. We have people that don't know what they're doing. So we're going to build things. We're going to build the wall. And the one thing, look, what I maybe do best, I think my biggest strength, other than the economy, in which I seem to be winning every single ball, and jobs. I think my biggest strength is going to be national security. I think it's going to be the military. And that relates also to our economy, because we're defending nations all over the world, and a lot of these people take advantage of us. We're defending, and the president